What's up, everyone? It is your girl Gel Beauty 87 here, aka Grace, and today we're going to get into the Berry Feels palette from Jaclyn Cosmetics. If you all remember, I said if she came in with a color story that I was somewhat interested in, I'd go ahead and buy it and we can try the formula. So this one is more interesting to me than the original, which oddly enough I ended up getting on a sale because I didn't know she was coming out with another one. It was 30% off on her birthday, so I went ahead and grabbed this one as well. I'll give my thoughts about this one toward the end because I have used it, but I only used it one time, so that's why I don't want to dwell too much on it. I want to focus on the newer one and, you know, what I think of the formula and all that, because I'm hoping the formula of this one is different than the formula of that one, but we shall see, since she said her mom helped her with it. So this is what the palette looks like on the inside. That's a typical, you know, cherished feeling palette. Now I have seen this pulling really like orangish and weird on certain people, but I think Angie was using the shade Cobbler, that's why I pulled orange. I'm hoping that's the case because I was hoping she wasn't using all the feels and it looked as orange as I saw on her video this morning that I watched. So let me get to pulling my palettes out because y'all know mauve and berries type tones are my thing. So we gonna have a lot of palettes to show. So let's get to it because we're gonna be here for a little while. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with Platonic Pinks from Plan to Makeup by Yolanda or Pimby. This is what both of them look like side by side. As you can see, this is more hot pink, and I felt like when I saw it online, it had more pink to it than more of its reddish berry tone to it. So that's why I picked up this palette. You're gonna see a few pink palettes and be like, why is this in here? Because I had already picked it out, girl, and I thought they were gonna be similar. Leave me alone. Okay? Thank you. Next, I have the Sweet Pinks from Juvia's Place alongside this palette again. I feel like the first two I showed could be good companion palettes to add more pink to this berryish toned palette, because I feel like it's pretty neutral toned down and, you know, not what I was hoping for, but you know, I have it now. Next, of course, we have the Berries from Juvia's. I feel like this is definitely a great companion palette for this one because I feel like the tones in here aren't going to run deep enough for what I want to do with the outer V, so I can easily pair this with it and get a few more lighter shades to go with the shades in this Berries palette. Plus, I love like this shade right here because it transforms and turns a different color depending on which way you're holding the palette. Next, I have my Unearthly Cosmetics Strawberry Milkshake palette. This is one of my favorite like berry tone palettes easily. But as you can see, she put greens in hers because, you know, she always has fun, unique color stories. She actually has a palette called Vitality, I believe it is, coming out tomorrow. But this is what it looks like alongside here. Again, a lot of these palettes just seem to be companion palettes once I actually got the palette in person and saw what it looked like. But we're going to go through the rest of them. So next, I have my Mini Love palette from Natasha Denona. If you all remember, this is my favorite midi palette. This is it alongside. I feel like it gives the vibes of the midi palette without the purples in it. So that's what it's giving me. If you cover up the purples in that one black shade, I feel like you get a lot of these same tones in here. But you don't. That's just my opinion. Next, we have the New Romance from Beauty Bay. Here's what they look like side by side. Again, it's giving some of the tones in there, but again, it does more of like the Natasha Denona kind of purples and black to go along with it. I think I did a main chick, side chick, showing this one and that one. Don't quote me though, but this is what they look like together. If we didn't, I need to put those to the side and do it. So I was going to show, what is it, Rose Quartz, but I don't even need to show that because, you know, it's more mauve-ish tone. I'm trying to get rid of all the mauve-ish tones I pulled that I thought might be similar because, you know, yeah. Oh, here is, I guess we can show this one. I feel like it's still somewhat mauve too, but it does have a, no. I was about to show the new nude palette, but I'm like, I feel like it doesn't have any tones in it either. So I had pulled a few palettes from mauve, as you can tell, because that's what the palette looked like it was to me. Last, I'm going to show the Sleepover palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is what they look like side by side. Again, this is still more mauve-ish tone, but I figured I would just go ahead and show it anyway. I feel like it could be a good companion palette. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite palettes from the brand. Y'all know these are my type of tones for everyday wear, so that's why I love it so much. So that's all I got to show. Unless you want to show the original palette next to this one, which I figure you don't need me to. The original palette, of course, is more of a neutral. It looks like it kind of has that Makeup by Mario vibe feel to the look of the color story, but let me zoom you on in because we're going to have to come put an eye look now, girl. So, oh, but if you're curious what's on my eyes right now, I use the Amulet New palette from Adept Cosmetics alongside my Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. I believe that's what it's called. So Moonlit Seduction is the shimmer I have all over the lids, of course, and then I use one matte from there, like the burgundy-ish matte I use in my crease. Then I use the purple and the blue from Amulet New, along with the neutral shade I use to cover up my eyeshadow primer, and then I use the purple on the lower lash line, and the inner corner is Amulet New as well. So I used Adept and Mother together to let you see how amazing both their shimmers are together, because the inner corner is Adept. But I'm gonna go off camera now for real and get an eye look done with this palette. I'm probably going to stick to the bottom row. I'm not even going to lie to you because the top row is just neutral and boring. I was more interested in the bottom row when it came to this palette. So I might do an all matte look. Knowing me, I'm going to try to do a shimmer look, and then we'll maybe put this bright matte in the inner corner because I don't necessarily want this champagne shade in my inner corner. So yeah, it looks like we're probably using these 3 to 4 tones right here to get this eye look done, but I'll be right back. Okay, girl? Okay. So here's the eye I came up with. I want to try out the Juvia's Place blush. So I got volume 4, the really bright pink one. So I'm gonna try the top one. I might mix a little bit of the bottom one, but I'm mainly concerned about the top one. That's the one that drew me to this palette. So I'll start up with a little bit of the light one, and then I'm gonna mainly tap into the dark one, and we can see how that goes. So, whoa. Yes, I'm here for it. Lately I've been into pink blush. I don't know what's going on, but I've been putting on a lot of pink blush. Okay, so it builds up pretty nicely. It comes off pigmented, but you know, you can blend it out a lot. I think I blend it out a little too much because it's like I like a little bit of a more pigmented blush than what it's giving right now. It's looking a little bit chalky. I don't know if it's because I started off with the lighter shade, put the deeper shade on, but I'm feeling it. Do a little bit more. Just because, you know, I don't like a lot of blush. When I do put on blush, I'm like, we need to go in. It needs to be a lot because it needs to be seen. Because I feel like a lot of the time when my skin tone especially like blends away to nothing. So, but honey, Miss Juvia's is over here giving. Do you see? Thank you. I gotta put this on now while I'm here because it's like I'll forget and then be gone out the house with one blush on. And last thing we need to do is go in at Sephora and I have our face together, because honey, but see, look how nice that color is, nice and pigmented it is. Yes, I'm here for it. It's a vibe. And then like it's going with my highlighter. So I mixed 2 highlighters on my face if anyone's curious. I have one that I use from Be Perfect that I really love, and I always mix it with like the Dior highlighter. I feel like it's a little too silver because it gives me a reason to use that one up, because it's like I like the form of Dior highlighters, but that one in particular is claimed to be rose gold, and I don't feel like it's rose gold on my skin the way I was hoping, so it works better for me that way. Okay, I keep blending out too much, y'all, so I keep having like reapply. Like this last time I swear. Okay. Pat it on lightly. Okay, there we go. That's the amount I was looking for. Let me zoom you back in now. And let's get the Jaclyn eye done. Because I still got to take myself to Sephora. And it's probably going to be 12 o'clock by the time I get there. And then I still got to come back here and film the video that you all will see today. Because you're going to see this tomorrow. And then Sunday you'll see the new mood from Beauty Bay. But yeah, I got to film the Huda Beauty one today. And then I can go home and handle Adriangameover's business because his birthday is this month and he goes back to school this month. So mommy has a whole bunch of other stuff to do. This is a lot, girl. Let me make sure I put some underneath here, because if y'all haven't noticed, I've been doing this thing where I highlight my brow bone with like a pink shade or a corally shade. I like a bright shade underneath the brow bone lately when I do my eyeshadow. I don't know what's going on with that, but you know, I've just been going with it because, you know, somebody like it. As you can see, I put the matte in the inner corner like I said I would. So let's get it. Y'all was about to try to put the blush on my eye because the palette doesn't have mirror. So I'm taking the shade Day Date. That's the corally shade I put in the inner corner. And I'm going to pop that on the brow bone because it's a lightish corally pinky peachy shade in the palette. I don't know, I feel like these fade easily, and I feel like they have to be built up. I don't feel like they're just, you know, really pigmented on their own, because y'all see I'm putting this over white base, and I don't know, I feel like it's not giving what I was hoping, or maybe because I feel like it's more of a like satin matte type thing. I'm not necessarily liking that, because I feel like these mattes are definitely satin. They're not like just a traditional matte, which is what I would prefer. They always have some type of sheen to them. I noticed that from using the first palette like I told you all I had. I did an eye look with it one day for work because I was rushed. I was going to be late. And I wanted to try out the formula because once I found out about this palette, I was like, well, I need this. I had already bought that one, and I was like, plus I want to see if the formula is going to be different or the same, so I need to use this palette. So I ended up using that. I think about a week ago or something. I didn't post a picture because I didn't like the look I came up with, but I was like talking on the phone when I did it to one of my friends. So that's why I was like, I don't know. gonna be cute or not, but I feel like I went to work and I did not like my eye look at all. I knew to get compliments on my eye look. Nobody said anything, so I was like, yeah, no, it's not a vibe like I thought it was. It's not a vibe at all. But I can like this color story a little bit more. The only thing I hate is like it's one row of just neutral stuff, and then you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna throw 1 or 2 berries down here, and now it's a strawberry palette, and really it's just a neutral palette with like some pops of berry tones. But I was just happy to see something from her that wasn't neutral, because, you know, I feel like she has this thing about neutrals, and it's like, I don't have a thing about neutrals. So I was just happy to see something that wasn't neutral, okay? Leave me alone. We're going to take my E40 Max Tapered Blending Brush from Sigma. Y'all remember from day one, when I first got on YouTube, I used to use a bunch of BH cosmetic brushes and these Sigma brushes. I still use Sigma brushes to this day. Now we're going to go with all the feels, and the shade before that I used Lemonade. So Lemonade is the one you saw me blending up here, and now we're going to do all the feels. This was the shade I was most impressed with out of all the mattes, just because of the color and how nice it went on the skin tone. But we know berry tones work really nice on people my skin tone, especially. So take this right here, and I try to take it to where the brow bone is and stop there. So I prefer to do my eyeshadow before I do my face. That's what I do when I'm getting ready for work, so that way I can clean it up with concealer. But I knew I need to leave for Sephora after this, and plus I need to do my foundation video, and I want to, you know, be trying to take the thumbnails for the video with the eyes already done and not have, you know, my foundation on looking crazy. So I was like, I can't do that. So when I'm filming videos, unfortunately, I have to do my foundation first. Plus, I'm supposed to be doing a wear test on the foundations I have on. This is the battle of the, if you can't tell, I have on 2 different foundations. I feel like I did a pretty good job to where you should be able to tell, hopefully. I'm thinking about asking some of the people in Sephora, like, can you tell I have on 2 different foundations? Just to get some reactions from other people. Because it's cute to ask y'all, but you know, I can't actually hear your response. Now I'm going to take Fresh Picked, which is the deepest and only reddish shimmer tone in the palette. But I love the color of this shade. I feel like she picked a really pretty shade. It looks really similar to a shade that's in the... Okay, so it's 12 o'clock. It looks really similar to a shade that's in the, what is it? The Berries palette from Juvia's Place. And it's one other palette that I've used recently that I was thinking about that this shade is similar to, but I can't remember the name of the palette. But yeah, it's similar to some stuff I already got. Matter of fact, I think it's similar to the Strawberry Milkshake palette shade from Untitled Cosmetics. I mean, from that palette. Not necessarily that shade, but I feel like it's similar to one of those colors as well. So I'm going to take the brush with the matte red, all the feels, and go back over this. So we can, you know. A little bit more on the brush. Take my clean brush again and just do over everything. Now we're going to take the matte shade again, Day Date, that we started off with, and end off with it in the inner corner. I'm not going to put any lower lash line stuff on. I just told y'all I gotta go pick up the palette from Huda's people, Huda Beauty at Sephora, and then come back here and film that so you can see that today. You'll see this tomorrow, and you'll see new mod on Sunday. So just trying to build it up a little bit since I didn't put any primer in my inner corner. Okay, y'all, so back it on up and have a discussion about my thoughts, girl. Okay, so the palette was just okay. It wasn't anything exceptional. I didn't expect it to be anything exceptional, especially after I had already tried the one she did with her mom. I was hoping she had changed the formula on it at least, though, because it's like I don't like formula on the one she did with her mom. Unfortunately, she did not. So I'm just kind of like, huh. I will say though, I do like the mattes in here so far better than the mattes in this one. But then again, I only tried this one time. Like I said, since I was on the phone, I wasn't giving my best effort as I would normally to my eyeshadow look. Because I'm usually more focused and paying attention. But if I'm talking on the phone, and obviously I'm trying to multitask, and you know, sometimes multitasking isn't for us. So I used some of these shades right here. And I wasn't really a fan of it. The black had like sequence looks in it. But let's focus on this one. It's the formula to me pretty much is the same in this one though, except there's no like sequin in these mattes, so I guess that's good. But I don't like the set finish it gives. To me, this is just more of like a soft palette, and I don't like soft eyeshadows. I mean, I did get some vibrancy out of the shade All the Feels, but it's like, you know, I should have, considering how, you know, deep it is in the pan. So I don't know, it's just a mediocre palette to me. These are the two shades I was most impressed with, and it's like, since, you know, I'm a brown girl and berry tones look good on us, you know, to me it's not that big a deal that she had two nice berry shades, because since those are the colors that work best on my skin tone, you gotta think how many berry tones I have in my collection. So I'm not gonna say rush out and buy it. When Morphe has a 50% off sale on it, then I'd say get it, but I wouldn't say go out of your way to get it just because it's meh. Now this blush, however, go out your way to get this. Like, yes, do you see how this looks on my cheeks? Absolute stunning. I absolutely love it. I love mixing the two shades together. I feel like I like this shade more on its own or just using it, because I feel like this is making it a little lighter and a more white based pink that I would like with this eye look. However, I wanted to show you both the shades, so that's why I just put them both together. But I'm most likely just gonna be using the one at the top, and then maybe I can use this like underneath my brow bone, like I was talking about, since I like to do the pink under the brow bone for now until I change my mind and do something else. So get the blush for sure. The eyeshadow palette, if you want to try it, go ahead. But it's like, I feel like the Berries palette from Juvia's will give you a similar look if you're my skin tone, and it won't cost you nearly as much. I showed you all that at the beginning of the video. I meant to compare it to the little Very Bad palette from e.l.f. So let's do that now. So this is what they look like side by side. I actually feel like the e.l.f. one has deeper tones in it though, as you can see. But that's all I have for you all. So it's okay if you want to try it, fine. I'm not gonna recommend you go out of your way to get it though, because it's just okay. That's it. For the price point, it's just okay. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.